All right, YouTubers, if you've been watching my videos, you know I'm doing a suspension rebuild on an 06 Chevy Silverado. And so I'm over on the driver's side, and I thought I'd bring you up to date. As I did in my earlier video, I outlined my process. Basically, I began by removing the 10mm bracket that secured the brake hose here, as well as the ABS. Now, I did go ahead and unconnect the ABS because my new hub has a new ABS line. You can see that I took my caliper and the bracket all off in one piece, and I used a super heavy tie, and I've got it tied over here so it's not stretching the brake lines at all. Okay, once that was done, then I was ready to remove the upper ball joint. I don't really care about this because I'm replacing the upper control arm. Now, I left this here intentionally because I'm going to mark these cam settings. Since I'm replacing the lower control and the knuckle, I didn't worry about removing the lower ball joint. I am upgrading the spring and this top cover piece. So I did go ahead and use a jack and jack this up to give it some support. And you can use just a little bottle jack like this. Now, by using a bottle jack, it also made it easier to remove the top bolts on the shock. There are two 14mm bolts up here. And below it's, I believe, a 12mm. There's two on the 12 that are positioned here, two up top. And if you try to remove them, you can strip them. It's a lot easier if you take some of the pressure off of your suspension and let it release those top ones. Okay, so now I remove them, drop the shock out. With the support of a jack, I ease the tension off this spring because remember, there's a lot of force behind this. You can get hurt. So you want to be very careful that you ease that pressure off to get that spring out. Now, what I'm ready to do now is remove this lower. I did go ahead and loosen them up. That's a 15/16 on one side, and I think I used an 18 over here for the breaker bar. Just to break them so I could ease it down and get this spring out. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the knuckle intact at this point because I'm replacing all of this. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and remove this lower control arm, get it out of the way. Then I'll start working on the upper control arm and getting it out of the way. Then I'm ready to start a reinstallation process. The good thing about replacing it with the lower arms and upper arms and so forth is the ball joints will already be installed, and I'll be able to just basically torque them together. I'll put a new hub in, new knuckle in, new rotors, new brake pads. I've already done the work on the sway arms and stuff, so pretty straightforward job at this point. The biggest part was, again, working toward that spring, I believe, to get that spring out, and be careful because of the pressure under that spring when you remove it. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and finish this out, and then we'll start reinstallation. I'll do some other videos. And like I said before, the bump stop appears to be okay. This would be a good time if you needed to replace your bump stops to do it. It's right here accessible. You just remove this top bolt, put in a new one. And I might look at that, but just because I put timbrings and stuff usually in these. But otherwise, I'm good to go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.